Hi, I'm Nathan Dale, wine expert with ABC Fine Wine and Spirits.
And I'm Paul Quaini, also a wine expert for ABC Fine Wine and Spirits.
And today we're talking about wine and chocolate. So I'm often asked, what wine can I pair with my chocolate? And the answer is none?
None!
Not really, that's not totally true. But as a rule, pairing sweet food and dry wine is very difficult. Chocolate has tannin in it, and most red wine is tannic. Chocolate is bitter, and so is red wine. And bitter plus bitter equals really, really bitter. So it's something that comes from the Valentine's Day holiday.
If you look online, you'll find hundreds of articles that claim it works. The one constant thread I've found with all the articles that are online is that the wine needs to be a little sweeter than the chocolate or the chocolate dessert. Personally, I think that sweet wines, particularly fortified sweet wines, can work really well with chocolate. What are fortified sweet wines? Well, port is the most famous of them. You have both vintage port, ruby port, tawny port. They all work really well. There's a famous dessert wine from the south of France called Banyuls. It's a Grenache-based wine from the Languedoc region. That is a classic pairing for chocolate and wine. One of my favorites is, believe it or not, Madeira, but high quality Madeira. I know right away when I say Madeira, a lot of people think, oh, Madeira, that's something that my grandmother cooks with. Well, Madeira actually is a noble wine that comes from the islands of Madeira, which are Portuguese islands off the coast of Africa. I love Madeira because not only does it pair well with chocolate, it has a really neat story behind it as well. The Madeira Islands were a wayward stop for people coming to the New World back in Revolutionary War times. Thomas Jefferson and George Washington and Ben Franklin were all huge fans of Madeira. In fact, if you look at history, does anyone know what wine was used to toast the Declaration of Independence? Yes, it was Madeira. Madeira was also used to christen the USS Constitution, the famous battleship parked in Boston Harbor. The wine goes through this special process called estufagem. What they discovered on these trips to the New World was they would fortify the wine to help it last on the trip across the Atlantic. But then they found one time when they didn't sell one of these barrels of wine that they were shipping to the New World, they brought it back and they found that the wine actually had improved. And what improved it was this process of actually being kind of baked out in the sun on this journey back and across the ocean. So when they got back, they discovered, wow, we love this style of wine, and they started to purposely do that to the Madeira, and that is how Madeira is produced today. A bit oxidative, a bit cooked, but the wine itself has these wonderful kind of caramel and burnt orange and burnt sugar flavors that really pair wonderfully with chocolate.
So what wines pair well with desserts? Before I answer that question, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. When pairing wine with sweet things, I err on the side of savory only because texturally it offers you more. There's so many great dessert options that you can pair. One that I love is sauteed strawberries with cognac and black peppercorns served over ice cream with Cabernet Franc ice wine. So now that you're an expert in pairing wine and chocolate, come visit us at one of our stores or at abcfws.com and check out some of our other videos.